So you see what I'm doing is simply combining both major and minor pentatonic together. What's really awesome about that is, instead of just getting this minor pentatonic sound every time you play, okay, what we can do is visualize the major notes of pentatonic and the minor notes of pentatonic in the same position, and then still use our traditional blues bends, of course, but see? So it sounds really cool. It's a great way of jazzing everything up, is instead of playing just major pentatonic and minor pentatonic, learn how to utilize them together. So in my lick here, I'm starting off playing major pentatonic by playing the 5th and 7th frets of the 2nd string, and I'm doing it as a hammer-on. And then I'm doing the 5th and 8th frets of the 1st string, which would be minor pentatonic. And I'm picking those. Now for me, I alternate pick those, but honestly it wouldn't make any difference. It's going to depend on the speed and the rhythm that you give it. Right now I'm giving it sort of a triplet feel. You know what I mean? But if it was slower, you know, I might downpick them all. You just have to keep in mind, as we keep learning all of these different licks, you may have to shuffle some of the concepts, some of the, you know, in the beginning of this course, we were talking about, you know, alternate picking and hammer-ons and pull-offs and all that sort of thing. The most important thing about any of this is you have to remember that you have to think on a realistic level, because you're coming from somewhere and you're going to somewhere else. So this is a transition in between there. So, you know, whether or not you'd be starting on this finger or on, you know, this down picking or whatever it might be, those all might change. And of course, we'll talk about that as this course keeps going on and we start adding some of those licks together. So here it is again. I'm going from 5 to 7 as a hammer-on, and then I'm going 5 to 8. I'm picking those. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the 7th fret of the 2nd string. See, just that right there sounds pretty cool. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to head back to the 1st string, 5th fret. And then I'm going to end it with a minor bend, one of the bends we talked about earlier. Okay? And remember, that bend that you're doing on the 2nd string right there, you're bending it up a whole step, which means it's actually technically becoming an A. It's becoming the same note as this. It's becoming that same note, which means if you're in the key of A and you end on that bend, you're ending on the pitch A, which works great melodically as well. Okay? So what I like to do is take those ideas and I start visualizing on my fretboard. I visualize minor pentatonic, and I visualize major pentatonic, so you see, and again, you don't need to worry about playing this part right now, but I just want you to see what I'm doing here. So if I play major pentatonic, and I play minor pentatonic, the true goal for me is to be able to see those two things, like right now when I look at my guitar, to be able to see those things at the same time. So I can pick and choose. And there's already, you know, so many different ways that I could encompass these notes. See what I mean? So that's what we're looking for in this lick, is to try and get used to being able to move, A, play it as a lick, but then B, really truly see how it's using major and minor pentatonic together at the same time.